Sweet.
Shiny new boat day.
Shiny new boat day. That is so awesome.
Cool.
Sweet. Hey, so how did I get to buying a boat? And obviously we have a camper. We travel around the United States. You guys should know that from our channel. I have a paddleboard, and we like rafting in the summer when it's hot, when I can't mountain bike or play golf because it's just so freaking hot where we're at. And so water sports, yeah, they're cool. And this is the Colorado River, taking a paddleboard down it. But it didn't really feel quite as stable as I wanted, and rafting kind of felt like I wasn't really in the driver's seat. There I am rafting with Kimberly, Arkansas River. So I decided, let's get into kayaking. That's sort of what the decision was. So I'm going to walk you through what kind of drove me up to buying the large reactor, and even a little bit of information about the boat itself if you're interested in the boat. So let's just start our trip. So this is Zoar Outdoors in Massachusetts. They're a whitewater specialist in the Massachusetts area, the top left of Massachusetts, if you're interested in going to them. They do a lot of like rafting. The kind of teal looking boat, the third one in, was the one that I was in the first day. It's a reactor, but a medium, and I needed a large. And then there it is again. I did a 2-day introductory class with them, and they taught me the basics on the Fife Creek River, on how to just paddle and not like flip over basically. That was a boat that I used on the second day. That boat fit me much better. That's a code, a large code. So this is my kayak, the one that I bought. It's a large reactor, so it actually fits me properly. Make sure you go out and demo boats, like go to places, try them out, sit in them at least, before you just randomly buy one. The outfitting and everything on the inside, that means a seat, is super, super comfortable for me specifically. This boat is what they call like kind of a 3/4 slice. Piranha likes to call it a 2-plane boat, meaning like there's 2 flat spots on the bottom, like the front of it and the back of it. That could be just a marketing thing. Next to it, you can see there's a firecracker. This was new boat day when all the Piranha shipments came in and everybody was getting new boats. The boat next to it is Anne's boat, the instructor I went out with. She has a true half slice, and you can see the difference where the back of it is much thinner, but the front of it is basically almost the same. And obviously, size matters based on your weight. I'm a 6 foot tall, 210 pounds, so I need something bigger, and she's obviously a small woman. There she is there. I don't know her weight or anything, but obviously smaller boat for her, bigger boat for me. This was the rivers that we went on. Fife Creek was what we spent most of the time on this is day 3 actually of me taking classes. I took a 2-day class, and then when I got my boat, I took a day out. So I really was trying to get the fundamentals down of kayaking and not getting hurt. And this is one of those things, it takes a while to learn how to do it. It's like riding a bike. You don't just immediately pick it up the first day that you take it out, but apparently I was actually pretty quick at picking all this up. People are still surprised about how little background I have in kayaking and how far along I've made it. So this is class 3 plus. This is a hammer and the anvil on the end of Fife Creek. We were debating about whether or not this would be a good thing for me to do on my day 3. And at the time we kind of decided it probably wasn't a good idea. But this is the type of stuff that I'm trying to get up to. And this is like intermediate paddling, by the way. The main key thing if you want to be an intermediate paddler is you have to have a roll. Meaning if you flip the kayak over, you need to be able to actually flip it back over. So that's a very, very key feature. And I actually took some classes. Some of the stuff on day 1 and 2 was actually on the roll and hip snaps and stuff. I ended up getting this sea kayak bag. It's that big yellow thing that you see on the paddle here. I saw some videos of people practicing rolling with it. So I thought, why don't I give it a try? I had already done 1 successful roll that was undependable with an instructor, so I already had like the general idea of how to do a sweep roll. What I'm doing with the paddle there is I'm seeing how deep it is, because I obviously don't want to hit my head. So what you're seeing here is me trying to do a roll, and this is like basically my first solo attempt. And what that big yellow bag does is it makes it so it's nearly impossible to not be able to roll back up, and you start with it fully inflated, and then you slowly let air out of it until you get to the point that like it's a regular paddle. You still have to have the mechanics down on what to do.
Yeah, so
I can roll with only that much air in the one side. I did it like 20 times just now, but I don't know if I'll be able to roll without it. So I just turn the camera on so I can at least watch myself later on how I did it wrong. And I'm just gonna go out here and probably do a wet exit shortly. So I don't want to be like Debbie Downer or whatever, but maybe I'll do it. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna try to do a roll, but I'm probably gonna do a wet exit. So don't panic at all. Don't panic. Cool. That's the first roll that I've ever done by myself. So as you can see, basically I'm taking classes and then I'm also going to flat water between the classes, trying to do like homework. And specifically the main thing I'm trying to practice on is paddle technique and rolling, because that is really the difference between an intermediate paddler and a beginner.
The destination is on your right. Outdoor New England. 1. Arrived.
So now we're in New Hampshire. This is the second set of instructors that I work with to do more kayaking. It's in Franklin, New Hampshire. This is a class 3 park that the city has made. So this is Dan with Outdoor New England, and this is a class 3 wave feature in Franklin that you can just come down and play on, which is super cool. He's on a Antex to Jackson boat, which is, it's kind of similar to the ReactR. There's some different things about it, and he's just kind of showing off a bunch of really difficult things to do, edge transitions. Basically every time you turn you have to put a different edge in, and this is basically what I'm trying to work up toward. But once again, you normally don't do this kind of stuff until you have a combat roll, because there's a really good chance when you're trying to learn it that you're going to flip the kayak over, and it's no fun to have to swim and then empty the kayak and then do it again. So the combat roll is really important to get to, which is what I'm working on. So after we did some warm-up stuff, he thought I was good for class 3 rapids. This is Coliseum, and we're actually scouting it out for the first run. And we actually did 4 laps in the introductory class, or quote-unquote I was a private class. I mean, it was only the 2 of us. And this is later on, actually with Alex. Alex is another instructor there. And this is Coliseum, a little bit closer up. It's class 3 rapid. This is Railroad Rapid. It's also class 3, and all this is a lower Winnie that we're looking at. And it's at low water. And this is the lower half of Railroad. That little thing with a little water feature there, that's actually like a 3-foot drop. I mean, it's a pretty big drop that you're kind of jumping off. And this is Alex. Alex seems more of a playboater than Dan, but they both are really excellent at kayaking and teaching. And basically it's about using the river. Every time you go down the rapids, you're looking for things to use rather than just bombing the whole rapid. So right here we're playing around trying to do surfing. This would be similar to the surfing that you just saw Dan doing on the feature that was built, but instead we're doing it in the rapids. This is the Pemmi, and you can say the long way to say it or whatever that's on the screen. The Pemmi has this feature also, and this isn't the best angle for the camera, but you did see it just a second ago, and this is basically similar to the feature that you saw Dan was surfing on, and that you finally can see me surfing. And the point of surfing, like, you're kind of like, what's the point of this? Other than it's fun, is you're basically learning edge control. You're learning, you know, that you can lean the boat say 30 or 40 degrees one way, lean it the other way, and then being able to counteract the current and being able to stay on a specific wave. Just by being able to have that feeling. It's kind of like when you ride a bike. For the first time, you don't have that balance, but then when you start tracking and going around the corners, you just start learning about leaning versus trying to turn the steering wheel or whatever on the bike. Same concept, very reactive. You have to be very quick with it. This is the Franklin water park that we're back in. So we had finished the Pemmi. We've also finished doing a Winnie run with Alex. So by then I've done so many class 3 runs, and that's a combat roll that I did there. The word combat roll, what that typically means is you're doing a roll in rapids, like while it's moving you, and that's a like class 3 feature behind me that's pushing me, even though it doesn't look like I'm moving very fast. I am moving, and you'll see a couple more pictures of me, videos of me doing it, and I did this a lot, trying to master rolling in rapids. And not only was it rolling with the rapid, but I also did rolling like going perpendicular to the rapid, either one way or the other. I'm in a Jackson Rockstar plane, and I had the camera mounted on the front, and you don't see the camera rotate because of the camera's trying to keep everything level.
Good? So good. So good.
Yeah, it's a boat. It feels easier to roll.
That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, maybe it is easier. Maybe I don't actually know about the reactor and that.
Why don't you hop in my ReactR and roll it?
Sure. Yeah. Definitely a lot of boat.
It's a lot of boat, yeah, I know.
Okay, so Alex is going to provide some feedback on the reactor itself. This is the first time he's been in the reactor, and he's going to do a couple rolls for us too. And you're going to get to hear what a kayaking instructor has to say about his initial thoughts in a reactor. So hopefully that helps you out if you're interested in a large reactor.
What do you think?
I like being in a longboat in the wave.
Yeah.
It's like a different style. Yeah. Hey man.
Alright, let's see a roll.
Yeah. I think it pops up quicker.
You think so?
I think so.
Alright, let's go.
It's almost like it's a little bit more to get over the edge. The edges are maybe probably sharper than that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I just noticed like way sharper edges.
Yeah.
Dan was an instructor, obviously, and he'd never been in a reactor either, so I gave him the opportunity to check it out. And his feedback that he gave me was that it had really sharp edges, and that it was just like super edgy. That was the main feedback, which I mean, similar to like a Scorch, which is also an edgy boat. So this is a lower Winnie on day 8. So to be clear, it was like 7 days of classes and then 2 half-day kind of roll classes, which totals 8. So this is the last day, and I'm super confident on these rapids. And this was surfing the lower Winnie, just basically playing. And yeah, the mindset completely got changed between like the beginning of all these classes to the end. I went from basically being unsure of myself to being super confident. This is the railroad rapid, class 3+. We're at low water, obviously, so maybe it's just 3. I don't know. I don't know the classes very well, but I do know that on the website it says 3+. You keep seeing my watch. That's actually a really good sign. I just noticed that. They say that like when you do a forward stroke, you should be able to read your watch, or you should be looking through the window, which is like the triangle between my arms and the paddle. So I think my stroke technique has actually improved a lot too. The main problem that I have is just I don't have a lot of seat time or time paddling. So it's going to take a while for me to figure out all the nuances of like the boat pushing you into features and stuff. So you see like river position of where I am, and the river could actually be improved significantly, and that's just mainly the time that it takes. And you can see here I'm just like kind of catching the eddy, just autopilot now. It's so much stuff is autopilot. This is the feature that I had been wanting to surf. I actually surfed it in a Rockstar. I got in the reactor and I actually didn't know what to do. I just sort of sat here side surfing, and I thought, well, how do I spin the boat around? And I should have spun it to the left versus the right. And when I went to the right, obviously I put my edge in. So this is a combat roll. Right here is failure. So what you can see here is a camera angle. I'm actually looking at the front paddle, So my head is actually up and I'm looking to the left. This is absolutely what you do not do. So I pop back down. Now I'm actually looking at the rear paddle, so my head is down and I'm actually looking at what will be the finish position. This is the correct way to roll. And the big difference between a combat roll and a regular roll is on a combat roll it's unexpected and you need to have more like muscle memory. So anyway, it's really good that I can identify my own problem, and it was cool that the two instructors came down to actually check on me. And then here is another combat roll. I'm in rapids, but it's expected because you can see like I immediately go to the startup position or whatever, setup position, and yeah, super cool.